lovely idea.
We have so much to celebrate.
We have more to celebrate this afternoon than most people have in a lifetime. We have each other.
And our future is stretching out in front of us like
the yellow brick road.
Exactly. And our life together is going to be a wonderful adventure. Except, it won't be a dream. It'll be real. And our first step along the road is going to be to confide some things to each other that we haven't talked about before. Now, doesn't that include a celebration with a bottle of champagne?
Yes. Darling, I think we must be among the special few.
Of course we are.
Oh, Alex. Oh, look at you. I got lipstick all over you.
Ooh.
Oh, darling. For 25 years, I thought all was lost. I came to hate that young girl I'd been, the one who had such bright hopes for the years ahead. I thought she was a fool, a dreamer. And I had actually come to accept going through life dissatisfied and unfulfilled. Venting my wrath on everyone I tangled with, and believe me, Alex, I tangled with everyone. I was the wicked witch of the East. And what is truly awful is that I thought that was the natural course of things. Now I found you again. And I suppose I found that young girl again, too.
I thought she was lovely 25 years ago. The woman she's become is even lovelier.
Being so deeply in love that you are ready to know everything about each other. That's for the special few.
I want you to know how much I love you.
I do know that, Alex.
But I want you to remember it always. I'm counting on our love to get us over those bumps, whatever they may be.
Darling, you're sweet to say that, but there's nothing you could tell me that would stop me from loving you. You going to drink your champagne?
I'm sorry, Terry, but this is an emergency and I have no choice.
No, please. And please wait until I tell Alex you're here. Alex, can you come to the door, please? It's important. It's urgent. It's very urgent, Alex.
I left those guys in the bar because I didn't get a chance to talk to you last night. And I seen something you ought to know about.
Sure. You're a regular watchdog. Just like the one up in Wheeler's office. The eyes and ears of the world building. Well, come on, spill it. I haven't got all day.
Yeah, I know. You're a busy man. I overheard Paige and her brother at the bar last night. You know, the guy who's going to do that TV interview?
Justin Marshall?
Yeah.
Well, so what? He's been in here before. It's not exactly big news that Paige has got a brother.
No, but what they was talking about might be big news to a TV audience.
What are you driving at?
Paige told this Marshall guy she had some dirt on you. And for a price, she'd let him have it.
What was it?
I don't know. She didn't say. But she and Marshall agreed to meet at the TV station this morning. I figured you want to know about it before they came in here and got you to talking. Especially in front of all those TV cameras. Right, Mr. Curtis?
Paige sold me out to her brother, the TV announcer? How am I going to get out of this?
If I can be of any help, Mr. Curtis, don't you hesitate to ask.
Yeah? Well, now's your chance, right?
Sure thing, boss.
Right, listen to me. Take that elevator down to the basement and find a place to hide this tape recorder. Hide it and hide it good. Now, when you're down there, make sure nobody sees you hiding it. Because the object of this game is to hide it so nobody can find it. You got that?
Well, of course I got it.
All right. After you hide the tape recorder, go to Jack, the guy that drives for Alex Wheeler. Tell him Mr. Curtis wants to borrow his toolkit. Then bring it up the front way. Then go into the dining room, disconnect all the mics under the tables, and get rid of them too. Okay, right, go to work.
Huh? What?
Tape recorder, basement, toolkit, mics. Now, is it clear?
Yeah, I'm with you all the way, boss.
Then do it.
Except about the part about the microphones.
Microphones, right? You're talking to them. They carry sound. I mean, that's how you record conversations in the dining room. There's one underneath every table in there. And those TV guys know that there's one underneath every table. So I'm going to stall the TV guys. You're going to disconnect the mics. And we've got a while, but not forever. So move it, huh?
Yes, sir, Mr. Curtis. Of course, you know what they say about moving too fast these days. I mean, the price of gasoline just keeps going up and up. Thanks, boss. This will take care of my expenses, and I'll take care of those microphones. I got it.
All right, now. Will you excuse me? I'll be just a minute.
Oh, the champagne's guaranteed to fizz for at least that long.
Alex, I know you didn't want to be disturbed.
It's all right,
but this-
Terry. Don't worry about it. What is it, Vicky?
Alex, I must speak to you in private immediately.
Vicky, this is a very bad time.
Things are bad all over, Alex, and if you don't want them to get worse, we'd better talk now.
Vicky, whatever it is.
Alex, you are not reading me. Look, I know you're here with Iris. Do you honestly think I'd want to be here if there were any other way? I'm telling you, it's urgent.
Hello, Vicky. It's nice to see you.
Hello, Iris. I'm so sorry to intrude.
Oh, nonsense. This is obviously terribly important.
Iris, please excuse me. I'll be just a minute.
Well, of course, darling. Go right ahead. I'll wait.
Throw your misdemeanors right up in my face. Come and him, I got to put you in your place. I should like you to get you back for what I saw. That's vengeance, he said. That's the law. That's vengeance. Oh, that's vengeance. Yeah, that's vengeance, he said. That's the law. That's vengeance. Yeah, yeah, vengeance. Yeah, that's vengeance, he said. That's the law.
Goes with the territory, Justin. What's that? Free booze and waiting around. Enjoy it. You're not going to make anything happen till it's ready to happen.
That's where you're wrong, Hank. That's why we're here. Make something happen that would have never happened without us. You ought to be proud. You're part of history in the making. This one's important to me. That's why I think I'll get a head start. Go check out that dining room.
It's too early, Justin. There's nothing happening in there yet.
From what I hear, there's always something happening in there. Come to think of it, I think this is the perfect time to check out the dining room.
He's right, Marshal. There's nothing happening in there now.
Don't you think you ought to let a good reporter find that out for himself?
Whatever's in there now will still be there after you interview me. And by that time, there'll be enough of a crowd for some action shots. Come on, I'll give you a hand.
Just because you're stronger and you're holding over me, I put the pedal to the floor and prove to you that I'm free. Though you stop me once again, it's not the end of the war. It's vengeance, she said. That's the law. That's vengeance. Oh, that's vengeance. Yeah, that's vengeance, she said. That's the law. That's vengeance. Yes, sweet vengeance. Yeah, that's vengeance, she says. That's the law. Vengeance. Oh, that's vengeance. Yeah, that's vengeance, she says. That's the law.
He hasn't shown yet, Ryan. I thought you'd want to be here, even if there was only a slim chance.
You were right. There's even a fraction of a chance I want to be here.
Yeah, there wasn't time to explain it on the phone. About 30 minutes ago, the airline alerted us. Seems somebody pulled strings to get a single seat on the afternoon flight to Tankir. We think it's for Colonel Hassan.
So he's running.
Yeah, it looks like the colonel is depending upon a lack of interest in his own country and solving the Sheikh's murder.
We'll stop him. What time's the flight?
20 minutes.
Well, we have some waiting to do, don't we?
Thank you, Terry.
Alex, it's Justin Marshall.
What about him?
There's trouble, Alex.
Has he harmed you? Threatened you?
Well, no. Why should he? It's you. You're the one in danger.
How do you? What do you mean?
Well, it has to do with Justin doing a story on the Top of the World Club. You do know he's doing a story on the club.
What are you talking about?
Well, you do know that he's working at KVIK as a sports commentator, don't you? Well, he's doing a series of feature reports on professional athletes who've left sports and made it big in other fields. He's starting this series with Clipper and the Top of the World Club.
I can't object to that. Unless...
Yes, Alex. He somehow managed to uncover the fact that you're the owner. And he's going to use this feature on Clipper to expose it.
Well, I'd rather not have that come out, but if it does, that's no great tragedy.
Oh, there's more, Alex. He's also discovered that Clipper monitors the club members in the dining room from his office.
Well, that's not going to send KVIK's ratings through the ceiling. Security monitors are standard operating procedure these days.
Alex, I don't know it. Word has it that these are more than security monitors.
How much more could there be?
Microphones, video recording equipment, and a lot of dirt on your club members and their guests. All collected by Clipper Curtis.
Does Justin have proof of that?
He plans to get it. And then expose the fact that you're the owner and that all this invasion of privacy business goes on up there. Alex, do you know how that's going to look?
Terry, get Clipper up here on the double. This is an emergency. Thank you. Vicky, you didn't think that I knew anything about this, did you?
It seemed inconceivable to me that this could be going on without your knowing it, but no, I guess I just couldn't believe that you'd be involved in anything like that. If I had, I wouldn't be here. Even my loyalty has bounds, Alex, and I think this is where I would have had to draw the line.
Well, Vicky, I'm not sure I deserve your loyalty, but thank you.
There's no need for that. It comes from the heart.
Then you must have an awfully big heart.
No. It's just that I love you, Alex, that's all. Greater love hath no woman, otherwise why would I chase over here to warn you when I knew you were with another woman?
I care for you too, Vicky. In a very special way.
That's kind, Alex, but we're talking about two different kinds of emotions, and you know that.
Alex, Clipper's not taking any phone calls right now. He's in the middle of some TV interview. Shall I go up there and break in?
Justin doesn't wait a second, does he?
I was afraid of this.
Well, there shouldn't be any problem here. No Curtis, no interview, right? Yes, Terry. Bring him in here.
That won't stop him.
If I tell Curtis to get in here, he better get in here.
I mean Justin. Obviously, you command a little more respect from your staff than I do from mine.
Well, you can order him to the station. Tell him his job's in the line. If he'll have to.
He'll do exactly what he wants. I've tried issuing orders. I told you, Alex, that my coming here was a last desperate measure.
Well, we'll get Clipper in here. We'll stop the interview. We'll find out if Justin's charges are true.
Knowing Justin, if we stop this interview, I'm afraid we're not going to be the only ones who know about these charges. He'll be delighted to be left alone in Clipper's office. And then he'll tape every monitor and every piece of recording equipment he can get his hands on. And then he'll have his expose.
If you tell him no go in the interview, Justin will have to eat his expose.
Justin will have the tapes. I can refuse to air them, but there are plenty of stations, local and national, that would love to dig up a little dirt on Alex and spread it around.
Why now? A scandal like this. Vicky, you've known me for 20 years. If it's possible for you to suspect me, Iris has just learned to trust me. If Iris can't trust him...
I would stifle this scandal right now and worry about Iris's reaction later.
Excuse me, Alex, but does all this have something to do with the tank-year situation, or is it something new? Alex, is it more trouble for Clipper?
Excuse me, Terry. I'll explain in a minute. Iris? Iris?
Passport, please.
Colonel Hussein?
At your service.
Special Agent William Church, sir. We'd like to talk to you.
Yes, Colonel. We want very much to talk to you. Well, I see your association with the federal authorities, Mr. Connor, persists as I had suspected. Well, perhaps this gentleman can explain more clearly what this intrusion is all about?
We have some questions for you, Colonel. Perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany us down to our office.
Thank you, but no thank you. I must decline your invitation. I suggest you reconsider. If only I had the luxury of choosing what I had to do over my state, Mr. Connor, but I'm summoned back to Tankir for a minister, as Minister of Internal Security. Internal Security in liberated Tankir, huh? Well, that puts you in charge of police and prisons, which really means torture and execution. That should be right up your alley. We must protect our state, Mr. Connor. And I intend to start with those opposed to the revolution, the handful of kinsmen that surround your good friend, the Princess Yasmin. Perhaps one day you will join us in Tankir, Mr. Connor, and experience firsthand our methods for rehabilitating the lawless. But now I really must be going. Colonel Hassan, if you refuse to come voluntarily, you'll be placed under arrest. By Ryan Connor, counselor at law?
By the United States government, Colonel. You leave me no choice.
I must decline your invitation, gentlemen, as I had already said.
It's a diplomatic passport, Ryan. We can't arrest him.
Till next time, gentlemen.
Diplomatic immunity, Ryan. We can't touch him.
Sweep dirt under the carpet, but it doesn't change a thing. It is still dirt.
Yeah, well, at least you get rid of it. Maggie, no, I didn't want everybody to know about this.
Honey, I think we got to bring it right out in the open. It's the only thing that's going to do any good. That's why I told Dawn and Dennis about Billy Joe hitting you.
Oh, Maggie, you're wrong. He really didn't hit me.
Oh, well, now what would you call that?
It's just Billy Joe. He gets to hurting real bad inside. You wouldn't know it by just looking at him, but he does. And then he just has to...
Oh, I know what he has to do. And you're going to just put up with it. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Nita, that boy hit you. He slugged you. He punched you. He took his fist and he hit you right across that pretty face of yours.
Maggie, please stop. Please don't
I'm not
say
going to
more.
stop until you stop making it up to be something it isn't. The only thing you can do is face up to it. Nita, I want to hear you say what Billy Joe did to you.
Please, Maggie, please.
Say
don't.
it.
He hit me. He hit me. But Maggie, I understand him. You know, sometimes I think I'm the only one that ever has. Maggie, Billy Joe comes from a family where hitting people is the only way they can communicate.
Honey, I know there are people like that, and I feel real sorry for Billy Joe and those people in that family, but he has communicated with you just about long enough.
Maggie, you gotta understand. He's my husband.
Well, he shouldn't be if he keeps on acting like this. Now, Nita, you got to tell him to stop this. Now, it's for his own good as much as it is for yours. Things don't get any better, honey. If he can't stop hitting you, then you have got to tell him to hit the road. This time it's your fist. He hits you in the face with his fist. Now, the next time, you don't know what they're going to do. He's going to pick up a beer bottle or something even worse.
No, he won't. And I'll tell you why. I brought this on myself. And I'm just not going to do it no more. That's all there is to it.
Now, how did you bring it on yourself? You said, oh, Billy Joe, honey, please hit me
Oh,
right
Maggie,
here.
you
Is that
know what
you
I
did?
mean. Billy Joe told me not to go hanging around Ricky, but I went right ahead and kept doing it, even though I knew he was jealous of him.
Honey, there are a lot of women that do things their husbands don't exactly cotton up to. But that doesn't mean they're supposed to end up black and blue. Well, you could visit anybody you wanted to. There's no reason in the world why you couldn't. Unless, of course, there was something more than just visiting a sick friend.
Now, Maggie, you know me better than that. Billy Joe was in jail for 3 years. Yeah, I had a lot of offers, but I didn't fool around not one single time. Not even with the ones that just wanted to be friends. Well, not that I thought it would lead somewhere, but because I knew Billy Joe wouldn't want me to. And besides, I didn't want to see anybody else. All I wanted was Billy Joe just to come home to me. And now that I got him here,
You wish you didn't.
No, I was going to say now that I got him here, I'm sure not going to start fooling around now.
No. I know, honey.
But I do like Ricky. He's a good friend, Maggie.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
You know how Billy Joe feels about cops. And Ricky being deputy sheriff and all. I'll tell you why I went to see Ricky in the first place. I heard that he'd been offered that dangerous job guarding Alex Wheeler. I just wanted to talk him out of that. Especially when he's still weak from that crash in that stock car race.
Well, honey, that was real considerate of you. And I just bet that Ricky paid a whole lot of attention, too, didn't he?
No. I shouldn't have butted into his business in the first place. And I'm just not going to do it anymore. That's all there is to it.
Hey, Aunt Maggie, I'm here to collect on your IOU. One dinner on the house. Hey, if I'm not welcome here, I can live without your chicken fried steak. I'll just grab me one of those fast food sawdust burgers down the street. You know, What does a growing boy like me fresh out of the hospital need for nutrition?
Oh, come on back here and sit down. Be quiet, for goodness sake. We were just surprised to see you up and about so soon.
Well, that's a little more like it. I mean, it's about halfway more like it. Nita?
How you doing, Ricky? I just got some work I gotta do in the kitchen.
Hey, this makes you uncomfortable.
No, really, I got some work I gotta do.
So that's it. He hit you again, huh?
Now, it's not as bad as it looks. I had this accident. And
Yeah,
let me tell
well,
you-
the only accident around here is that gutless punk for a husband of yours. Yeah, well, he's one accident that's not going to happen anymore.
Well, why don't I just leave you two to talk here, and I'll be in the kitchen.
Ricky, I know you want to help.
Yeah, you better believe I mean to help. First thing I'm going to help myself to is that turkey upstairs.
He's not here, Ricky. He's at work. Please don't call him that name.
Well, how about man of the house? How's that? Since the man of the house isn't here, how about if I just sit down and wait for him?
Now, he works real late, Ricky. And when he gets home, he's real tired.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to tell him is going to pep him up real fast.
Hold it, Ricky. I mean, look at you. You're in no shape to fight.
Well, don't worry about it, Nita.
Ricky, things are bad enough as they are. Now, why don't you just relax and enjoy your dinner?
Yeah, good idea.
Now, what'll I bring you?
Well, let's see. How about a nice long look at the menu? Then a real relaxing dinner. Soup to nuts. Second helpings. Maybe a third. Some coffee. Apple pie a la mode. Some more coffee. Because I'm going to be settling in for the night. When that creep gets back, you and I are going to have a little discussion. I mean to have it out with the man of the house. If he ever touches you again, ever, I'm going to bust him into little pieces.
When you spend each evening with the most gifted men and women in the world, some of it's bound to rub off.
Yeah, I see. And your guests at the top of the world happen to be among the wealthiest men and women in the world. Isn't that true?
That's probably accurate.
Probably?
Well, I don't investigate my guests' financial standing.
Oh, of course not. But a man who is as perceptive as you certainly must have a sixth sense about things like this.
I can only say that merit is usually rewarded in this life. And my guests probably have received financial rewards in keeping with their contributions to the world.
And have you received financial rewards in keeping with your contributions, Mr. Curtis?
I have a much richer cultural and social life than ever before. But unfortunately, I have no additional monetary wealth to help me indulge it.
That's very surprising. Very surprising, Mr. Curtis. I had expected a man as enterprising as you seem to be to have much more in common with his successful clients, his successful guests. And of course, you have access to them, don't you? Hank? The rich and the powerful make a nightly appearance on your television screen. Don't they, Mr. Curtis?
Our guests come here to relax and escape the pressures of their harried lives. And they would find that difficult, no, impossible, without the most effective security monitoring system, which we are pleased to provide for them.
And in this comfort and security, which you happen to provide for your guests, do they occasionally relax enough to let slip an occasional business secret or personal indiscretion?
Our guests are always discreet, Mr. Marshall. And even if not, they know that their privacy is well protected at the top of the world.
It never occurred to you to record the conversations of your guests? I mean, even for posterity?
Mr. Marshall, I mean, you really surprise me. That kind of behavior would run directly counter to the philosophy of our club.
And tell me, does this philosophy jibe with the tape recording machines in your office?
I'm afraid you've been misinformed, Mr. Marshall.
Well, then you won't mind if our camera scans your office to verify that.
Well, go ahead. Be my guest.
You know, a recording machine can record from almost anywhere conversations. But the microphones that pick up those conversations can only transmit from one place.
Oh? And, where would that be?
Well, an under-the-table operation, such as yours, can only happen under the table. Tell me something, Mr. Curtis. There aren't any hidden microphones under the tables of the very discreet, very private top-of-the-world club, are there?
Well, I certainly wouldn't think so, but you reporters usually know what you're talking about. Maybe someone has sneaked in some microphones behind my back.
Then maybe we can take a look.
Right this way, man.
Yes, right over here. Those are for me. Oh, fabulous. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, could you hang on for just a second? All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much. Share the wealth, as I always say. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Vengeance. Vengeance. Yes, it's vengeance, you said. That's the law. Honey. So beautiful. Ah, yes. I remember you.
My. Somebody's had herself a real shopping spree.
Well, I'm a working girl, Junior, and I've always believed that a paycheck is meant to be spent.
Must have taken a pretty hefty paycheck to come by all this loot. And I bet you worked real hard for that paycheck. Maybe even a little overtime?
Oh, you know me. I watch my pennies and do all my shopping in the bargain basement. You know, it's amazing how you can make your paycheck stretch. And speaking of paychecks, you're actually earning yours today, Billy Joe. You're here on time. Will wonders never cease?
I'm always here on time. I take my job very seriously.
Oh, yeah. And what are you going to do with that, sweetheart? Sabotage?
I've been fixing your sound system. Got tired of hearing you moan and groan about it all the time.
Oh, shoot. That's it for the sound system, folks. Well, I guess I could always try and make a phone.
I wouldn't laugh too hard, Miss Marshall, if I were you. When things ain't fixing around here, I know exactly how to fix it. By the way, I gotta get going. I gotta take this toolkit back and run me a couple errands. Oh, by the way, Paige, if Clip calls about me, you just tell him I decided to knock off early tonight.
Oh, with pleasure, Junior. Because that should just get you knocked off for good. Aw, we'll all miss you terribly.
Right kind of you to worry about my position like that, but I'm a lot more secure here than you think, Paige.
Oh?
Yeah. Just got me a promotion.
What a lovely idea.
We have so much to celebrate.
We have more to celebrate this afternoon than most people have in a lifetime. We have each other.
And our future is stretching out in front of us like
The yellow brick road.
exactly. And our life together is going to be a wonderful adventure. Except, it won't be a dream. It'll be real. And our first step along the road is going to be to confide some things to each other that we haven't talked about before. Now, doesn't that include a celebration with a bottle of champagne?
Yes. Darling, I think we must be among the special few.
Of course we are.
Oh, Alex. Oh, look at you. Look at lipstick all over you. Oh, darling. For 25 years, I thought all was lost. I came to hate that young girl I'd been, the one who had such bright hopes for the years ahead. I thought she was a fool, a dreamer. And I had actually come to accept going through life dissatisfied and unfulfilled. Venting my wrath on everyone I tangled with, and believe me, Alex, I tangled with everyone. I was the wicked witch of the East. And what is truly awful is that I thought that was the natural course of things. Now I found you again. And I suppose I found that young girl again, too.
I thought she was lovely 25 years ago. The woman she's become is even lovelier.
Being so deeply in love that you are ready to know everything about each other. That's for the special few.
I want you to know how much I love you.
I do know that, Alex.
But I want you to remember it always. I'm counting on our love to get us over those bumps, whatever they may be.
Darling, you're sweet to say that, but there's nothing you could tell me that would stop me from loving you. You going to drink your champagne?
I'm sorry, Terry, but this is an emergency and I have no choice.
Don't, please. Please wait until I tell Alex you're here. Alex, can you come to the door, please? It's important. It's urgent. It's very urgent, Alex.
I left those guys in the bar because I didn't get a chance to talk to you last night. And I seen something you ought to know about.
Sure, you're a regular watchdog, just like the one up in Wheeler's office. The eyes and ears of the world building. Well, come on, spill it. I haven't got all day.
Yeah, I know. You're a busy man. I overheard Paige.
Iris.
Alex, where are you going?
It's Iris. I have to find her, Vicky.
That's what I thought. Listen, Alex, as scrambled as my wits are right now, I know that that's not your priority business.
You don't understand. I have to find her, Vicky.
Alex, your reputation, your whole life in this town is on the line. Haven't you heard anything I said? Justin is interviewing Clipper in his office this very minute. And once he starts poking around that club and finds those microphones...
Whatever was there. was not mine. I don't have anything to hide.
Alex, who's going to believe that Clipper hasn't been working on your orders?
I have to explain it to Iris. Vicky, you talk to Justin.
I told you he's not listening to me. And when he finds those videotape machines... Alex, you know I'm not going to put that story on KVIK. But Justin will just take the story to another station, and there's nothing I can do to stop him.
Vicky, he works for you.
And Clipper works for you.
Vicky, she must have heard us talking. My reputation means nothing to me unless it means something to her. I've got to find her. I have to explain.
Oh, and what are you going to explain, Alex? That you own the Top of the World Club? And not to pay any attention to the 6 o'clock news when they drop the bombshell that half of Houston's private conversations have been tape recorded for years? Oh, Alex, think of tomorrow's headlines. Wheeler double crosses Houston. Is that what you have to explain to your childhood sweetheart? Hmm? Or do you have to explain why I said that I loved you?
I don't know which part upset her more. She left because she was upset. I have to find her.
Alex, please, first things first. You still have a chance to head off the biggest disaster of your career. Then you can find her. I'm sure you'll be able to explain away our relationship to her satisfaction, but hadn't you better save your skin first?
Thanks, Vicky.
Don't mention it.
Oh, and by the way, Paige, if Clip asks for me, you tell him I decided to knock off early tonight.
With pleasure, Junior. That should get you knocked off for good. Oh, well, I'll miss you terribly.
Right kind of you to worry about me like that, but my positions here are a lot more secure than you think, Paige.
Oh?
I just got me a promotion.
Come on, Hank. We'll set up in the dining room.
Make yourselves at home. How about a drink on the house? After all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Save it, Curtis. Come on, Hank. Get in here tight. Try to follow my hand.
I'll have one, boss.
Just so you don't ruin your voice, baby.
Listen, I sing pretty good, don't I?
Yeah. You got talent, all right. You're pretty nosy, you know that? Of course, I guess that's just the way TV reporters are.
Hank, go check that table over there.
Watch out for the chewing gum, Hank. Or, is that what you boys are after? I know. You guys were at a party, and you were playing a scavenger hunt, and they sent you out to bring back a dozen wads of old chewing gum. Well, that's it, isn't it? Oh, no luck, huh? Gee, that's too bad. You want to right the table for me? My busboy hasn't come in yet.
What happened, Mrs. Bellman? What is Alex going to do?
He's going to do what all of us do. He's going to cover what he can and explain what he can't. Can I pour you one, dear?
No, it isn't fair. Alex shouldn't have to explain anything.
No, he shouldn't.
Can't believe it. I just can't believe Clipper would sabotage Alex this way, not after all the good Alex has done for him. How could he?
Maybe when you're too good to people. No, I don't know. I don't know anything about people.
Alex treated Clipper like a son, or he would have if Clipper wasn't always so defensive.
This Clipper, you love him, don't you? Of course you do. Otherwise, all this wouldn't upset you quite so much.
Yes, I love him. And I trusted him, too. I never imagined he could ever... Now I don't know what to think.
Think the worst, dear. That way, you'll be able to handle it when things turn out as bad as you ever dreamed they could be.
Mrs. Spellman.
Advice is cheap. Don't listen to me. I never listen to anyone myself. I don't know. Sometimes I think we enjoy learning how wrong we really were. Gives us something solid to take to bed.
Mrs. Spellman, should you be,
No,
drinking?
I shouldn't. But that's what we're talking about, isn't it? 12th commandment. Forget the others and do what you shouldn't. Anyway, I needed one for the road. It's a long way home, and I do have to go home, don't I? Nothing more I can do here.
Well, let me fix you some coffee.
Whatever for. No, I have to leave. There's nothing more I can do here. I have to go home. Now that I think about it, there's nothing much at home either.
Way we can talk Ricky into just leaving.
Oh, well, now, honey, you know those nephews of mine. Once they take a notion, they kind of hard to get moved again.
It's just gonna be trouble, you know it is, Maggie. I don't need any more trouble. Won't you please try and talk to him?
Well, I tried that already, honey.
Oh, Billy Joe's so jealous of him. You know what's gonna happen when they cross paths.
You don't have to tell me Billy Joe is jealous. It's pretty obvious, even if it is written all over your face instead of his.
Maggie, this doesn't mean anything. Won't you please try and talk to him?
All right, honey. For your sake, I will try to get Ricky to leave before Billy Joe gets back.
Will you? Thank you, Maggie. He'll listen to you. I know he will.
That's more than that husband of yours does. You know, I wish he would listen to me, because I have got a thing or two I want to tell him.
Now, don't be so hard on Billy Joe. He tries. He really tries.
Oh, yeah, he tries. In fact, if he tries any harder, he just might kill you next time. Did you ever think about that?
Oh, just would you forget it, Maggie?
Well, all right. I never know how some weasel like that ever managed to end up.
Maggie!
I'm not going to say another word.
What about Ricky?
Well, let's see now. Billy Joe gets back kind of late tonight, doesn't he?
Right.
Okay. Then I think this calls for the roundabout approach, because it's not easy to turn Ricky all the way around like that.
So what's the plan?
Well, I think first of all, we're going to give him that supper we promised him for free. And then we're going to let him calm down, relax real nice. And then we're going to kind of gently ease him out the door.
You think that'll work?
Oh, honey, I don't know whether that'll work or not. But it better. Because one thing I agree with you on is that if Ricky is sitting there when Billy Joe gets back, there's going to be trouble, for sure. Honey, you look like you put in a hard day. But it was exciting, huh?
You could say that.
I bet you get to redecorate that gorgeous home that Alex has given you. And the sky's the limit. New colors for the walls, new carpeting, new antiques, new everything. Come on, honey, tell me all about it. I could use a good story.
Yeah, so could I.
Oh, say you got into a fight with your interior decorator or something, forget about it. Honey, please, it's fun for me to think about. Tell me about the renovation.
Rena.
Yes?
Don't press me, please.
All right, honey. Maybe just a little, though.
There isn't going to be any renovation.
What?
I'm never going to live in that house.
Oh, Iris, honey, baby, what happened? Oh. Did you and Alex get into your first fight? Well, now you just forgotten what a fight is for. That's all. A fight is so you can make up again, and you're not supposed to. It wasn't a fight?
No, and I really don't want to talk about it with you. I can't.
Please?
And you keep trying to make me answer questions, Rena. Just respect my reasons, please.
Well, how can I if I don't know what it is? You tell me what your reasons are, and I'd be happy to respect them.
You are impossible.
Please?
No! Look, it is something too close and too personal to discuss with you.
With me? Oh. Then, is it something about my dear mommy, Vicky?
Rena, you know?
Honey, there isn't anything I don't know about that wonderful mother of mine.
Rena, if you knew all along, why in heaven's name didn't you tell me? You let me make a fool of myself over and over.
I did no such thing.
Oh, I have been a guest in that woman's house. I've toured her television
Listen
station.
to me, Iris. Honey, I didn't tell you everything I knew about Vicky's double life because you're so happy with Alex.
Oh, Rena.
And I really think that it's something you should overlook. Simply forget. I mean, why torture yourself over this?
How am I supposed to forget what I heard Vicky say? That she loves Alex. She was almost in tears, Rena. It's not because he's a friend. She loves him.
Yeah, maybe. If Vicky is capable of loving anyone, it's probably Alex.
I don't see how you could not tell me a thing like that. Not and be my friend.
Honey, did you hear Alex say that he loved her too?
No.
There you go. Do what I said in the first place. Forget it.
Forget that a whole world of things exists right alongside my own?
That's right, honey. Forget it. Or else you'll...
Or else what?
Or else you'll end up like me. All alone in your fancy living room and hearing only your own voice and your girlfriend.
Oh, what are you talking about now?
Missing pieces.
What?
You know, honey, my life is a puzzle to me. And I think it's going to stay that way because there are too many pieces missing to ever make it right again. Broken china, that's what I am. And nowhere to look to find out where it all gone.
Oh, sometimes I think I understand what you're talking about, and sometimes I can't.
Kevin and I had one of our famous quarrels. Maybe the biggest and the last one we'll ever have. He's left me again, honey. He's left me.
Come off it, Curtis. I don't know when you could have done it. But somehow you got those microphones out of here just in time.
Why am I putting up with this abuse? You ought to see a shrink about that overactive imagination of yours.
You know I was coming, and you were ready for me. Somebody must have tipped you off. I want to know who.
You know, Bud, your sister got all the brains in your family. How'd you ever land a job in TV?
You enjoyed that, huh? That was a double payoff for you. One from me, telling me that the microphones were here, and one for that clown, telling him I was coming here. You are a bad lady.
I don't know what you're talking about, Justin. Must have been some other blonde.
All right. All right. I know all about this snake pit now. All right, I lost this lap, but I haven't lost the whole race. Not by a long shot. You just watch out for me, because I'm watching you.
So watch. I'm worth watching.
You're a has-been, Curtis. You're a dog on Wheeler's leash. But you can give him a message. Give your owner a message from me. Just tell him he's never going to ever have a minute's rest again. I'm going to track down every scummy deal he has ever cooked up, and I'm going to make it all public. All the facts for all of the people to see. Whatever way it'll hurt him the most. Can you remember all that?
Push off. You sold me, baby.
You expected some fierce sort of loyalty. You should have cut me in for more than bus fare, honey. I gotta live.
Just sold me right out. Bet you didn't hesitate 1 second.
All I did, Clipper, was to look out for number one. But you know all about that, don't you, sweetheart?
Well, look out for yourself on somebody else's turf. Pack up, baby, and shove off.
Sweetheart. I like it around here too much. There's gotta be some way.
Maggie's hottest coming up. Watch you don't scorch your eyes.
Thanks, Nita. That looks great.
Need another beer?
No. Just some more water. In a little while.
I'll get you a pitcher. Mind if I join you for a second?
No, please. You can help me with this. This looks like too much for any one human being to eat.
I bet you can handle it. Big, strong man like you.
I do work up a powerful hunger for Maggie's cooking. Just can't get enough of it.
Ricky,
Excuse me. I was eating too fast.
there's something I gotta say to you.
Shoot.
Well, first off, I really do appreciate the way you're concerned about me.
Hey, we're friends.
Yeah. Well, I guess I haven't had too many of those. I really do appreciate it, Ricky. Thank you.
You don't thank a friend for worrying about you.
Oh, okay. Gee, ever since I split off with my folks to marry Billy Joe about 4 years ago, seems like nobody much has cared whether I lived or died. Nobody but Maggie. She's really been my tower of strength.
Yeah, I know what you mean. She's been that for me a time or two.
What I mean to say, and I know you'll understand, because you are my friend, is that you won't do no good staying here waiting for Billy Joe to get home.
Look, I mean to have a leisurely supper and then a little discussion with Mr. Wright when he gets back.
Ricky, it's just going to start a fight. Now, please,
That's okay.
don't...
I'm pretty good at handling myself. And as if you're worried about me. If you're worried about Billy Joe, then I'd say you're crazy, as near as I can tell.
You're wrong, Ricky. I'm not crazy. And I'm not the fool my daddy said I was when I married Billy Joe, but I am his wife.
Yeah, I know.
And that means something to me.
Yeah, I got 2 eyes to see what it's meant to you.
This isn't anything serious.
It's not serious.
You know what I mean. You know what happens to a man when he goes to prison. Billy Joe was in prison for 3 long years. 3 out of the 4 years we were married.
I'd call those your lucky years.
I haven't given up on my marriage, Ricky. I still love Billy Joe. And I know it's just gonna take time to get our marriage back on the right track, but I got to try. I got to try, Ricky.
All right, take it easy. I know you have to.
If you know I have to, then you won't stand in my way. You won't go making it harder for me. You stay here waiting for Billy Joe to get back, and you're gonna make it impossible. Do you understand? I know you want to help me. So please, just help me.
All right, I'll do what you say. Look, all I want's what's best for you.
Thanks, Ricky.
Hey, you, Fuss! What the hell you doing with my wife?
Billy Joe, now...
You shut up! I'm talking to the cop here. You think you're gonna get away with coming around here making time with my wife while I'm off sweating for a living?
I came here to have dinner with my Aunt Maggie, and I'm on my way, so why don't you just back off?
Sure, you're on your way, because I caught you playing footsie with my wife.
It was not Billy Joe.
I came to have dinner with Maggie.
That's why Anita was at the table with you, huh? Well, you sure take the cake, honey, I'll tell you. Messing with this cop at the same time I'm off at work, breaking my back, earning money to get you a surprise.
Please, Billy
Oh,
Joe,
I never guessed you were planning your own little surprise for me.
He wasn't doing anything wrong, Billy Joe. Not a thing wrong.
What is going on in here?
What's going on is the old double dip, Maggie. The boss told me to get this stuff repaired, so I came home early. Looks like it's a good thing I did, too. Boy, you never thought I'd be home. You thought I'd be gone all night, didn't you?
Billy Joe, now just
You too, huh, Copper? I'll tell you, this stuff ain't the only thing he's repairing around here.
I'm gonna tell you what, old son. I'm only gonna tell you this once. Nothing's been going on around here. That's so you know you got nothing to worry about. But I'm not gonna repeat myself again. I don't have to explain where I go or who I'm with.
My wife, you do!
And since we're talking, I'll tell you something else you need to know. If I ever hear you've been using this lady for a punching bag again, I'm gonna wipe up Westheimer Drive with you. Thanks for dinner, Maggie.
You know, you talk real big for somebody who's all busted up inside.
You wanna try me out, boy?
Hell no. You'd swear to warrant that I assaulted you. I'm not that dumb, you know. Copper. I'm not gonna let you set me up that way. Think I'm some kind of dummy?
You don't need anybody to set you up. You do just fine all by yourself. You know, one of these days you're gonna walk over the edge and every cop in Houston's gonna come down on your neck. But until that day, you keep your hands off Anita.
She happens to be my wife. You keep
hear
your
what I'm
damn
telling
hands
you?
off her! What goes on between her and me is our business.
Not anymore. I'm making it my business.
Son of a...
You had to for the little kids and for your mama. Oh, Lord, I felt so bad for you. I couldn't stand it. I said to myself, life owes Billy Joe more than this. I thought if we could just get away, just the two of us, if we could just be alone.
Yeah, I remember.
That was the first time. That was the first night. Billy Joe, I wanted us to have a different kind of a life, and I still do. But you can't keep on fighting like it's you and your daddy going at each other all over again. Like what happened here? I mean, what if that wasn't Ricky? What if it was one of the Houston cops that comes here for a cup of coffee? Well, they just pack in a paddy wagon and send you back to Huntsville before the week is up.
I ain't afraid of no Houston cops, honey. You hear me? They pushed me far enough. Never again.
No, I don't expect you are afraid. God, I wish you were just a little bit. Then... I got some work to do.
I ain't afraid of any damn thing on two legs. I'm gonna be somebody. I'm not gonna be like him. Not me.
As bad as it sounds, the two of you have recovered from worse wars, haven't you? And what was that you told me about the purpose of fighting?
With Kevin and me, it's not a kiss and make up situation anymore, honey. No, I think the kissing is over. Kevin said he was sending for his clothes. Now, can you imagine that?
His clothes? Well, where will he go? Where will he stay?
That's the million-dollar question.
A hotel, I suppose.
Well, I have already taken steps to find that out.
Oh, Rena, not that horrible private detective again.
What choice do I have?
You could be patient.
Oh, no. And let Kevin make a fool out of me? Oh, no, honey. You see, I think he was looking for this fight. Yeah. That's what happened. He was looking for an excuse to leave this house.
Well, you do seem to upset him a great deal at times. Maybe he needs time to himself.
No, I believe he was looking for a way to get out of here so he would be freer to...
To what?
Freer to spend more time with that... Look at that.
Iris here?
Well, hello to you, too. Listen, honey, what in the world has gotten you so upset?
A man? Someone trying to pass himself off as one?
I have the feeling you're going to tell us who it is.
The man is Alex Wheeler. I just learned a big lesson at the top of the world. I want to pass it on to you, Iris.
Oh, you surprised me. I got your message to come down, but I couldn't get away till now.
Oh?
Yeah, I had some TV people in and just got rid of them a minute ago. So, what's up?
Was Justin Marshall one of them, Clipper?
Yeah, matter of fact.
Ask any interesting questions?
Nah, same old bull, you know. Some kind of sports feature. How does it feel to go from the gridiron to the top of the World Club?
Sports feature, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd come up with some new angles, you know. I mean, these sports guys, they ask the same stuff they were asking when I got here, you know, a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. You know, I used to believe I could trust what you told me, Clipper.
Hey, since when have you had any reason to doubt me?
Since I know what Justin Marshall was asking you about. He was looking for recording equipment, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Well, he threw in something like that at the end. You know, just fishing. I mean, you know how those TV reporters are.
Did he find any recording equipment, Clipper?
Are you kidding? Of course not. No way a thing like that would ever happen.
Because it was never here, or because you managed to get rid of it in time?
Huh?
Answer me!
Is everybody crazy around here except me? I mean, you sound just like that guy Marshall. I mean, come on, Alex.
The answer is, Alex, the Clipper's as fast as he ever was.
Paige.
Oh, yes, he got rid of the goods just in the nick of time.
What are you talking about, baby?
Baby, I'm talking about that runty little guy, that junior bartender, Billy Joe Wright. You ripped out the microphones 2 steps ahead of my brother.
I'm afraid I've already had my lesson today.
I learned that Alex Wheeler does own the top of the World Club.
Well, I guess that comes as some sort of surprise, but...
Do you think this is just Wheeler's way of being neighborly to the rich and famous of Houston? Not on your life, baby, and it's not just some toy that he plays with. No, the Top of the World Club is serious business.
Oh, come on, honey, you can't blame him for that. It's a businessman's business to expand his horizons, to try to make more money.
Top of the World Club would be worth it to Wheeler, even if it cost him money. See, the biggest deals in Texas are made there. And the biggest dealers are the ones that make them. They have a few drinks, they let their hair down, their tongues loosen up a little. And why not? It's a private club. Except for one thing. It's not.
It's not what? I thought it was ultra-private and exclusive.
Oh, it's exclusive, all right. It's where the elite meet. But it's far from private. The whole place is wired for sight and sound. There are security monitors in Curtis's office and microphones under all the tables. If there seems to be a conversation that's particularly interesting, well, hello, you're on candid camera.
Oh, come on, honey. You know that I'm no Alex Wheeler fan, but even I can't really believe that he'd be involved in something like that.
Believe it. I was there with my own candid camera to lay open the whole thing. I made the big mistake of trying to clear it through channels at KVIK, letting Vicky get wind of it. What did she do? She just spread her wings and she flew to Wheeler. Well, so much for professional integrity. By the time I got there, every wire in the place was ripped away from its socket. Every piece of evidence was gone, everything. Except for a few marks where, under all the tables where the microphones had been. Wheeler's free. Curtis is laughing at me.
I was there when Vicky arrived. I heard her say she was there because she loves Alex. I suppose that's reason enough to lay aside professional ethics. I wonder what Alex is willing to lay aside in return. Do you still say forgive and forget?
Hey, butt out. Hey, didn't I tell you to get lost?
I got lost, Clipper.
Then
But now I'm found.
Then stay lost, baby, because this is none of your business.
Oh, yes, it is my business.
Leave her alone, Clipper.
A real gentleman. Thank you, Alex.
You know something about this, Paige?
I certainly do, Alex. After I had been working at the club for a while, I realized that there was some nasty business going on. Alex, I realized that the conversations at the club were being recorded for posterity, baby.
Go on.
Well, at first I thought, because I'd figured out who really owned the club, that you must know about it. That was my assumption at any rate. I didn't like it, Alex, but I didn't know what else to do about it.
I see.
Are you buying this trash?
Shut up.
So I was so troubled, Alex. And I went to my older brother, Justin, for advice. Well, he was just as horrified as I was about the whole thing, but Justin is more action-oriented, and he decided he had to make it public.
I see.
You know, I think Justin was really overzealous. I'm very sorry, Alex, that he tried to embarrass you with the TV expose, because it would have been so unfair seeing it's all Clipper's fault.
Oh, I appreciate you telling me about this, Paige.
Oh, I wish I'd told you earlier. Did Clipper tell you that he had fired me?
No.
Well, he has. Because I told Justin about the recording equipment. But I don't think that's right. Do you, Alex?
This is just a page out of history, I guess. Well, in case you ladies haven't heard, history has a way of repeating itself. If Wheeler really dumped Vicky, do you think that she would have rushed to his side to warn him against me? No. She would have cheered me on.
Perhaps loyalty, Justin.
Yeah, I think she's loyal to the man she loves. And I think he's loyal right back for the same reason. Wheeler and Vicky have been carrying on behind Stryker's back for the past 20 years. Stryker is too decent to be suspicious. You see where his decency got him, don't you? Wheeler has a way of taking people's decency and using it against them.
Oh, come on, honey. The truth is what it is, and it's bad enough. You don't have to start embroidering it on. Let Iris make up her own.
The truth, but the full truth. Why don't you show Iris the photographs that your private detective took of Wheeler and your mother?
No, I'd rather not.
Well, I'll get them then. Perhaps if you hadn't been there today, Iris, it would have been a little different. Maybe something more like this.
You know, I think Justin was really overzealous, Alex. I'm very sorry that he tried to embarrass you with the TV expose. I mean, it would have been so unfair, since it's all Clipper's doing.
I appreciate you telling me.
I only wish I'd told you sooner. Did, Clipper tell you that he'd fired me?
No.
Well, he has. Because I told Justin about the recording equipment. And I don't think that's right. Do you, Alex?
No, I don't.
I mean, you grow up believing that if you do what's right, all good things will come to you. I did what I believed to be right, and I end up losing my job. I'm sorry, I don't mean to burden you with my problems at a time like this.
I hope you recognize an Oscar-winning performance when you see one, Alex. This broad wouldn't know what's right if somebody cast it in bronze and dropped it on her head. When she tipped her brother off on the story, she probably made him pay through the nose.
Clipper Curtis, you shock me. But then I guess a man who's trapped and desperate will say just about anything. So, I'll forgive you.
Oh. Don't try to smokescreen me, Clipper. Paige's motivation in this is not the issue.
Excuse me, Alex, but don't you think that the recording attachment to the security monitors is the issue?
Absolutely. All right, Clipper. You're up to your ears in something that's against the law.
Okay, so I did a little recording.
You broke federal laws. And you broke them acting as my agent without my knowledge or consent.
But I was doing it for you, Alex. I mean, you hired me for that. To keep my eyes and ears peeled, to notice who makes and shakes in this place. I just extended my eyes and ears with a little electronic help, that's all.
By invading the privacy of club members.
You wanted me to find out what they're up to. Well, I was trying to do that. The mics and monitors just helped me do it a little better. A little faster.
You didn't speed it up. You changed it into something completely different. If members choose to talk to you, that's one thing. But if you tune in on them when they think they're alone, Curtis, can't you see the difference?
I'm trying hard, but I can't see that I do.
There are limits. There are boundaries. You have to know where to draw the line. But you've never understood limits, have you? They try to teach you that on the football field. That lesson cost you a couple of kneecaps. Too bad you didn't learn from it. But maybe you'll learn from this one. You're fired.
Alex, hey, wait. I mean, come on, at least hear me out. Please.
I've heard you. Now, you hear me, loud and clear. You've made this club into something sleazy. You almost got me involved in a TV expose. That is something I cannot afford. I can't count on you. I want you out.
Alex, try to put this all in perspective. I mean, I was just trying to do it for you. I was trying to help you in the club.
Well, sweetie, if you're fired, I guess I'm not. That means a pink slip for you and a green light for me. That's showbiz. So if you'll just excuse me, on with the show.
You rotten slut!
You lay one hand on me, Sonny, and I'll make sure that you never pose for another cologne ad or whatever it is out-of-work jocks do. You rotten slut! And you watch your mouth, too, Buster. I'm not more than a slut than anybody else. I just know how to take care of myself. And I can't help it that you don't.
Well, baby, you just took care of yourself and me. I'm down the drain.
Fortunes of war, sweetheart. There are always innocent victims.
Damn it, I thought we had something going.
We did. Past tense.
I always thought we were on the same side.
I thought we were too. Shows you how wrong two people can be, doesn't it?
It's you.
You, baby, you, not me. You're the one that rocked this boat. A relationship like ours, Clipper, is based on give and take. Well, I gave and you took. That's not exactly what I had in mind.
Don't you know that deals like this take time? They take time. I was ready to cut you in big on this thing.
Oh, honey, I don't live on the installment plan, Clipper. I travel COD all the way. Well, I delivered on the $5,000 deal, but I only collected $500. Poor baby. If you were just to keep your accounts correct, who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have had to put you up for collection. But Justin was perfectly happy to pay the balance.
Are you crazy? You blew the whistle on me for $4,500?
A girl's gotta know who she can count on, sweetheart. That was our first business deal, and you let me down. Let me tell you something, Clipper. Some girls can be had for $500, but some can't be had at all. I suggest you learn the difference.
It could have meant millions. And you blew the whistle for $4,500 lousy dollars. You threw it away. You wasted it.
I didn't waste anything but you, honey. You're out. And I'm in. And that's exactly where I intend to stay.
Isn't that sweet? They make such a lovely couple of worms. Look at those soulful eyes. They must have been pouring their hearts out. Oh, and Dad, that one. That is my favorite. Look at that kiss. Look at those tears. Now, you tell me that Vicky still doesn't love Alex Wheeler. Honey, it's as plain as the nose on your face. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler.
Stryker?
Becky.
What are you doing sitting in the dark?
Tough day?
Toughest.
I called your office. They said you never came in. Had no idea where you were. I thought that was kind of strange for the head of KVRK-TV. Playing hooky all day, not telling anybody.
I wasn't playing hooky, Stryker. I was working on something.
You're out at a meeting.
Yes.
Your whole schedule today was out of the office?
Yes.
You had business downtown.
Yes.
Downtown, up in the sky.
What?
High up in the sky. High up in the world building. Let's see now, where would you have had business there, I wonder? Not in my office, that's for sure.
Why are you asking me that, Stryker?
Well, you have to ask questions to get answers. That's the way it usually works. Because sometimes you get answers that you didn't have in your mind at all.
What are you getting at, Stryker?
Did you see Alex Wheeler today?
I thought we decided to let the past rest in peace.
That's fine with me, lady. Did you see Alex Wheeler today?
The past
is past. I know that. You have told me. And told me and told me again. And I believed you. But the past is not today. It won't be until tomorrow. That is why I'm asking you this question. Did you see Alex Wheeler today? Funny thing, the word see. Alex is seeing you. You are seeing him. And I am seeing things a lot different than I did before. What's a picture worth? 1,000 words? A stab in the back that lasts as long as 20 years of lying?
So, Rena's finally showed you her fine collection of photographs.
That's right. Very good likenesses. I'd swear I knew the people in them. But I never did I? Until recently. That is why I am asking you this question. Did you see Alex Wheeler today?
Stryker, I'm going up to change, and then we'll talk. I think you'll find the real truth stranger than the fiction you think is true.
No, that can't be true. Look, I know Clipper's ambitious, and sometimes he goes too far. But what you're telling me is sleazy. It's criminal.
I wish that weren't true, Terry.
But Alex, Clipper's not sneaky. He's got energy. He's full of life. What you're describing is some cheap hood.
That's pretty much what I called him.
Oh, Alex, there must be some mistake.
It was his mistake to videotape club customers and think he'd get away with it. It was my mistake not to check up on him more carefully. And you're going to make a big mistake if you don't take a long, hard look at Clipper Curtis.
But, Alex, there was no recording equipment there when Justin got there with his cameraman.
The only thing Clipper did right was remove the equipment before Justin Marshall got there. But his heart's still in the wrong place. Do you know what would have happened to me if he'd been caught and my connection to the club had been revealed? I don't think the Harris County grand jury would accept a plea of naivete from Alex Wheeler.
Alex, how can you even be sure all that equipment was there in the first place?
I'm sorry, honey. The recorder, the mics, the whole system, it was seen.
Who saw it?
Paige Marshall.
Paige Marshall?
She was telling me about it just now.
You'd believe Paige Marshall? Alex, this sounds like a story she'd weave out of thin air, or like a scheme she'd concoct herself. If there was equipment there, it was probably hers.
Honey, I know that it would hurt much less if you could pin it on someone else. I wish I could help you do that, but I can't.
Alex, you don't understand. Paige is a scheming, conniving...
Terry, it doesn't matter. Clipper admitted it.
He admitted it? You heard him admit it?
He was almost proud of it.
Proud?
He said it made his work more efficient.
What are you gonna do?
I can't trust him, Terry.
Alex, now that it's all out in the open, maybe he'll be jolted into seeing himself more clearly and changing. Isn't that possible?
For his sake? I hope so. But I can't risk that. The man can't be trusted. I don't want him around.
I can understand that, Alex. I really can.
Will Iris understand? Will she even listen? I'm sure she's heard all about it now. At least by now.
Hi, Terry.
Ryan, did you question Colonel Hassan about it? I mean, his involvement with Clipper?
Why do you ask?
Because I want to know.
Hey, you're not starting to have doubts about the Honorable Mr. Curtis, are you?
Please, Ryan, it's an easy enough question to answer. Please?
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I didn't get to ask him any questions at all. We tried to pull him off the Tankure flight at Houston International, but he pulled rank. It seems the colonel had a diplomatic passport.
You mean, diplomatic immunity?
Yeah. I should have taken that passport and stuffed it down his throat. But then where do you draw the line, huh? Start ignoring a diplomat's immunity and graduate to assassinations, right?
And you end up a dead ringer for Colonel Hassan.
You got it. So I had to let him walk. Colonel Hassan, his diplomatic passport, and a whole head full of knowledge about Sheikh Zaydi's death.
Then there's nothing to prove Clipper was ever involved.
No, there's nothing to prove it. But there's plenty enough to convince me.
But Ryan, a man is innocent until he's
No, that's just technical. And if you need to believe in Clipper's innocence, you go right ahead. But there's got to be some part of you that knows what he's really capable of. Now, I'm sorry, Terry. I just can't tell you what you want to hear.
Hello, Alex Wheeler's office.
Baby, I want to see you as soon as possible.
No.
Baby, this is Clipper. What do you mean, no? I've got to talk to you.
I've already heard enough.
Well, you haven't heard it from me.
You're not the only person whose word I can take. In fact, I think I've taken your word a few times too often.
I always thought I could depend on you when things got rough.
I thought a lot of things about you too, Clipper. Guess we were both wrong. Anyway, you're not in that much of a jam. Not as much as you could have been.
Maybe you haven't heard.
That you lost your job. Well, you're not in jail, are you?
Sounds like you wish I were. Baby, I have lost everything. Don't tell me you're going to write me off, too.
You're getting off easy, Clipper. All your secrets are safe and sound. Some of them are winging their way to Tangier with Colonel Hassan. And you've stashed your other secrets, God knows where. All that spying equipment. No, you've got all your bases covered, Clipper. I don't think you need me for anything.
That's where you're wrong, Terry. I come from the streets, baby, and without you, that's right where I'm going to end up.
You're a big boy, Clipper. You can take credit for wherever you end up. You, not me, not anybody else.
Is that where you want to see me? Back out on the streets again? The way it was after I got broken up?
All I want right now is to end this day. And I'm going to do that by going home and going to bed alone. Before today, well, guess I wanted a lot of things. Too bad we didn't want the same things, Clipper. Well, you live with your disappointments, and I'll live with mine.
No. No! Scene's gone. Terry's gone. Everything's gone. Tape is worth zip. The Tangier oil deal right down the tubes. No. Maybe not. Maybe not yet.
Rena, please don't accept any phone calls from Alex, and will you pass that on to Beth, thank you?
Damn you, Justin. You didn't have to do that.
I had to, Rena.
Why?
I had to in a big way.
Why? I told you. I'm sure it's over between Alex and Vicky, at least on his part.
You think that matters to me? Think I care about these people and their sorry little love affairs?
You told me you were doing this to educate Iris.
Rena, don't expect the truth from me now. I'm at war. Wheeler won the first battle. He used Vicky to beat back my offensive. And he won. And I just used Iris to strafe the hell out of him, and I was right on target.
Well, Mr. Commander-in-Chief, you also opened fire on an innocent bystander. Iris isn't part of your little game with Alex Wheeler, you know. Don't you care that you turned her into a casualty? You saw her. She left this room one of the walking wounded.
Can't afford to care. Rena, I don't have anything against Iris. I use her. I use anyone. I'll do anything I have to wipe out Alex Wheeler. Remember, you seem to forget. My father isn't wounded, he's dead.
Well, if that isn't typical man talk. You make up these damn games, and then you make up your damn rules, and if an innocent woman suffers from the fallout, you don't care. There's no skin off your nose.
What do you feel, Rena?
I feel lousy. Iris is hurting bad now, and I'm hurting for her.
Is that all? You don't feel a sneaky little something for Alex Wheeler? Made a fool out of your father. Ripped your mother away from both of you. Look, girl. I said, look.
I see it, Justin.
See it? Good. Now hear it. Let it talk to you. Go ahead. And then you try to tell me that you feel something differently than I do in your gut, deep down in your gut, like me. Try to say it. Go on. You'll choke on every word.
Justin, I feel it. I hate the man, but I can't.
What? Rena! Rena? You don't hate. You don't hate good enough yet. It's not easy. You've got to work at it. You got to wolf it down with your supper. You got to let it share your bed at night. You've got to give yourself to it, Rena. You've got to let it take you. And you've got to take it like you take a hungry man. There's no holding back, ever.
Justin, honey, it's just a game. Don't you see that? You've just made up one big, horrible game. I think in your game, everybody's got to die.
Yeah. It's a game. The stakes are high. Last time around, my father was the grand prize winner. Got a bullet right through his heart. That was Wheeler's doing. Now it's the second time around. If I win, Wheeler not only loses his life, he loses the purpose for his life. If I lose, you know something, Rena? I don't know how to lose.
Hello?
Rena, this is Alex Wheeler. Is Iris there?
I'm sorry, Alex. Iris has decided not to take any calls from you.
Rena, just ask her if she'll come to the phone. Tell her that I can explain.
She won't. I'm sorry.
Look, tell her that if she heard me out.
I'm sorry.
Look, she'd feel differently if she only knew that.
I'm sorry. She has decided not to take any calls. That's her decision.
All right. I tell her I understand. Rena, I want you to tell her that I'll try again tomorrow. I won't give up. I was afraid of that.
Come on, if you didn't try.
And I won't stop trying until I reach her.
And if someone told you you didn't have a chance?
I ignore them, as if they'd ask me to stop breathing.
So now you understand how I feel about Colonel Haseen.
Are you comparing Iris to Colonel Haseen?
No. I'm just talking about not giving up until you get through to the party in question. Alex, I'm going back to Tankir. I'm going to get through to a party named Colonel Ahmed Al-Haseen.
If you couldn't get to him when you had him on American soil, How can you deal with him on his own turf?
Well, I'm going to go straight to the Prime Minister. I'll tell him exactly what his Minister of Internal Security's been up to over here.
What do you expect him to do?
Probably laugh me out of tank here. But then again, maybe not, right?
I think you were right the first time. That's a new government with no real mandate. They don't even consider the will of their own people, much less a foreign emissary who also happens to be on their enemies list.
Possibly.
I know my nephew. I think I hear a very strong butt in there someplace.
Look, now they might laugh me out of tank here, or they might be a little squeamish about getting bad press so early on. Because if I threaten to make public what I know about Hassan, they just might sacrifice him.
Then they'll order him back here for questioning, right?
That's right. But, Uncle, there's one thing more. Yasmin's life is in danger.
I'm not surprised. She's the Sheikh's daughter, princess of the old regime, a reminder of the old order.
And Yasmin still commands loyalty from her people. That's a real threat to the revolution. And with someone like Hassan as Minister of Internal Security...
How can a two-bit diplomat raid a cabinet post? As if I didn't know.
You got it. They've given it to him as a feather in his hat for services rendered during the revolution. And you and I know what those services were, don't we? I'm afraid of what this Minister of Internal Security is going to secure. I got to get Yasmin out of tank here, immediately.
When are you leaving?
As soon as I see Ginny. I haven't told her yet.
And you're not looking forward to telling her?
No, I already told her I was hanging up my hat. She got a real big kick out of that one. You see, she thinks I'm a swashbuckler. That's what she told me. With Tankir in my blood. Well, this trip to Tankir is gonna really make her say, I told you so, isn't it?
And when you explain to her what you have to do...
Hey, you're right. If anyone knows about duty, it's Ginny Marshall.
I've known Ginny when she and Barrett Marshall were first married.
And she waited 5 years. 5 years for him to come back from Southeast Asia. That was out of duty. That was out of love. No, I know she'll understand my love for Sheikh Sadie. I'm just not sure if she'll really understand my duty to track down his assassin and get his daughter out of Tankir.
But understanding might not be enough.
Yeah, she may not want to wait around anymore for any man. I know that she wants a home, and she wants a family, and she wants it now. Can't blame her for that. But she has to know that until I get Zadie's killer, and until I get his daughter out of Tankir, I can't come home.
Curtis, I don't want any part of your deal. Now, don't you call me up again.
Stryker, you're getting yourself too upset.
How upset is too upset, Vicky?
Please, Stryker, I'm too tired to play games.
Did you see Alex today, Vicky?
Justin dug up some dirt on Alex. At least he thought he did anyway. And he wanted to do a TV expose, and I just went to warn him to keep an old friend from being humiliated unnecessarily.
You still love Alex Wheeler, don't you? Damn it, the happy hour is over. If he washed his hands of you, you still got Alex on your head 24 hours a day, don't you? That doesn't leave much for me. Be decent enough to admit it. I'm not asking you that much. But one, by God, understands, sir. I got a right to that.
All right, you won't have it any other way. You want to hear it? Yes, I love him. But I still love you. If I could choose not to love him, I would. But it's not my choice to make.
All right, now what? You've got Alex Wheeler where he hurts and Iris where she lives. It's a pretty tough act to follow, honey. What do you do for an encore?
First off, I think I'll take a little intermission. Sit back, watch Wheeler bleed. I think I deserve a little victory celebration. Won't you join me? Taste the sweet wine of victory?
Yeah.
I'm serious. How about dinner at the top of the World Club?
No.
I'm serious about that, too.
Oh, I'm sure they'll roll out the red carpet for us.
I don't know why not. I'm a member in good standing. Besides, I want to see if it started yet.
What are you talking about?
Alex Wheeler's world building. I want to see if it started shaking yet. It will, you know. Just before the whole thing crashes to the ground and crumbles and blows away. Let's hit all the high spots tonight, Rena. Let's paint the town red with Wheeler's blood.
Sorry, honey, but no thanks. I don't see anything to celebrate. Besides,
Besides, you're married. I keep forgetting that.
Funny how my husband has forgotten it. Kevin's left for good this time. Just moved out.
You have to have dinner with somebody.
Honey, I have lived the last 5 years with one crazy man. But Kevin isn't any more obsessed about cutting up his patients than you are about cutting up Alex Wheeler. I'm not going to trade one maniac for another. Next time I find a man with a one-track mind, I'm going to make damn sure I'm that one track. So you get this Alex Wheeler craziness out of your system, and then we'll talk about having dinner. Maybe even a little dessert. In the meantime, sweetheart, good night. Sleep tight. You've got Alex Wheeler to dream about.
Vicky, you should be in bed.
Where are you going, Stryker?
It doesn't matter. Any place would be as much home as this.
one place will be in particularly more home sweet home. How perfect for Rena's sweet Rena. Took her 20 years to pull this off, but she's done it. There's a lesson to be learned in that, Stryker. Good things come to those who wait. Know that.
No. You've been right about that all these years. She has got to learn to live without me. I'm not going to Rena's. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going.
Goodbye, Stryker. Goodbye, Vicky.
Vicky. Vicky. I'm not going to Rena's. I don't know where I'll go. I'll just go.
Bye, Stryker. Bye, Vicky.
If I had my life to live over. Well, you don't. You're stuck with the one you're in, lady.
So am I. Excuse me? Oh, just talking to myself, Beth, as usual. What do you want, honey?
I don't want anything, except to tell you that I packed the clothes and stuff Dr. Cook asked me to.
Good.
So, if you won't be needing me anymore this evening, I thought I'd drop his things off at the hospital on my way home.
Oh, that's dandy, honey. Go ahead and do that. You just take him all the things that he asked for. And more. Well, there's his clothes. Don't forget his toothbrush and his shaving kit.
Well, they're packed. Mrs. Cook, are you going to be all right?
Oh, me? I'm fine. Couldn't be better, honey. You just go on and get rid of all the excess baggage around you, okay? Honey, stop worrying.
I can't help it. You didn't eat any supper.
I wasn't hungry.
Come to think of it, neither did Mrs. Carrington.
Dinner's in the oven in case y'all decide to eat.
You won't. We're both on starvation diets. As a matter of fact, we both have been starving for years.
Well, I sure hope you don't go get carried away. You can take that thing too far, Mrs. Cook.
So what? Everybody else I know seems to be carrying things too far lately. Why should I be different?
You know, Mrs. Cook, I don't have to bring those things to Dr. Cook tonight.
Oh, yes, you do, honey. He asked for them, he's gonna get them. Come on. Come on. I want you to carry all this stuff right out of here. There you go. Go on now, shoot! Good night, Beth.
Good night.
Good night is right. Lord, it's quiet in here. Oh, maybe I'll just call it Daddy. Second thought, maybe I won't, the way he lectured me. Now you go and call Kevin. You tell him that I'm gone and that you're sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, and I'm sure as hell not calling him either. Damn if I beg him to come back. Maybe I don't even want him back. I can entertain myself. Do, 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 do. Dee-da-da-da. Bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. Do-do-do-do. Dee-da. Dee-da. Dee-da-da.
Crying in my, oh my, and since he's been gone.
Hey, you're trembling, huh? How long have you been out here?
Oh, I guess since your phone call.
I'm sorry I took so long. Just had a few odds and ends I had to clear up. Want to go in the house?
No, really, I like it outside in the evening like this. I'm not cold. I'm just very bothered about your phone call. I've been sitting here trying to figure out why it was so important that you came to see me this evening.
Hey, come on. I always want to see you. You know that. If I could, I'd move in next door if you had a next door.
Very sweet, Ryan. But it's not why you flew all the way over here. What is it?
I had to see you before I,
Before what?
before I leave.
Leave? You're leaving? For where?
For Tankier.
So you're going to Tankier.
I have to. If I
You
didn't...
know, it's really funny. I mean, I feel all shivery. It's almost like that great norther that blows before fall and kills all the leaves.
Ginny, you have to understand why I'm going.
Oh, I do. I really do. As a matter of fact, I expected this from the very start. Feeling that it would happen, but wanting to pretend that it wouldn't. Just like that norther that blows in and blows out again. To tell us that winter is here, whether we want to believe it or not.
Jenny, I came here to explain
I
why
don't
I'm
owe
leaving.
me any explanations. I know who.
I'm not going to Renus. I don't know where I'll go. I'll just go.
Bye, Stripe. Bye, Vicky.
If I had my life to live over. Well, you don't. You're stuck with the one you're in, lady.
So am I. Excuse me? Oh, just talking to myself, Beth, as usual. What do you want, honey?
I don't want anything, except to tell you that I packed the clothes and stuff Dr. Cook asked me to.
Good.
So, if you won't be needing me anymore this evening, I thought I'd drop his things off at the hospital on my way home.
Oh, that's dandy, honey. Go ahead and do that. You just take him all the things that he asked for. And more.
Well, there's his clothes.
Don't forget his toothbrush and his shaving kit.
Well, they're packed. Mrs. Cook, are you going to be all right?
Oh, me? I'm fine. Couldn't be better, honey. You just go on and get rid of all the excess baggage around you, okay? Honey, stop worrying.
I can't help it. You didn't eat any supper.
I wasn't hungry.
Come to think of it, neither did Mrs. Carrington. Well, dinner's in the oven in case y'all decide to eat.
You won't. We're both on starvation diets. As a matter of fact, we both have been starving for years.
Well, I sure hope you don't go get carried away. You can take that thing too far, Mrs. Cook.
So what? Everybody else I know seems to be carrying things too far lately. Why should I be different?
You know, Mrs. Cook, I don't have to bring those things to Dr. Cook tonight.
Oh, yes, you do, honey. He asked for them, he's gonna get them.
Come on. Come on. I want you to carry all this stuff right out of here. There you go.
Go on now, shoot. Good night, Beth.
Good night.
Good night is right.
Lord, it's quiet in here. Oh, maybe I'll just call it Daddy.
Second thought, maybe I won't. The way he lectured me. Now you go and call Kevin. You tell him that I'm gone and that you're sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, and I'm sure as hell not calling him either. Damn if I beg him to come back. Maybe I don't even want him back. I can entertain myself. Do, 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 do. Dee-da-da-da. Bum, ba-ba-ba-ba. Do-do-do-do. Dee-da, do-do-do. Dee-da, dee-da-da.
Crying in my, oh my, and since he's been gone.
Hey, you're trembling, huh? How long have you been out here?
Oh, I guess since your phone call.
I'm sorry I took so long. Just had a few odds and ends I had to clear up. Want to go in the house?
No, really, I like it outside in the evening like this. I'm not cold. I'm just very bothered about your phone call. I've been sitting here trying to figure out why it was so important that you came to see me this evening.
Hey, come on. I always want to see you. You know that. If I could, I'd move in next door if you had a next door.
Very sweet, Ryan. But it's not why you flew all the way over here. What is it?
I had to see you before I,
Before what?
before I leave.
Leave? You're leaving? For where?
For Tankier.
So you're going to Tankier.
I have to. If I
You
didn't...
know, it's really funny. I mean, I feel all shivery. It's almost like that great norther that blows before fall and kills all the leaves.
Ginny, you have to understand why I'm going.
Oh, I do. I really do. As a matter of fact, I expected this from the very start. Feeling that it would happen, but wanting to pretend that it wouldn't. Just like that norther that blows in and blows out again. To tell us that winter is here, whether we want to believe it or not.
Ginny, I came here to explain why I'm
You don't
leaving.
owe me any explanations. I know who you are, Ryan, and how you are. As a matter of fact, I understand it very well. The excitement, the Mideast, the great games that are played for great stakes. Men get caught up in the
come
things
on,
a lot
cut
less
that out!
interesting.
Because you're wrong. You're dead wrong. You know that?
Oh, am I? Then why?
You're right about one thing. I am who I am. I keep my promises. I try to do what I say I'm going to do, and that's why I'm going back to Tankier.
That doesn't explain it.
Ginny, I know who planned the murder of Sheikh Zaidi. Now I know it. I'm sure I know.
Then they've caught him.
No. It was close. At least I thought it was going to be close, but the man was Zaidi's own charge here in Houston, Colonel Hassine. Anyway, we tried to stop him at the airport. We had some very interesting questions for him, but he got away.
Oh, he got away. How? How could he get away?
He had a diplomatic passport. So he just smiled and showed it to the government agent I was with and walked right on board.
If they killed the Sheik, Ryan.
Look, we didn't have absolute proof. And even if we did, it wouldn't have mattered. That passport was like a bulletproof vest. So right now, he's halfway home. He thinks he's got it made. That's not the way at all. I know too many people, too many ways.
Ryan, you sound...
I'm sorry, it's a tough business. People get hurt. Especially the people that shouldn't. Like Zadie and Yasmin.
His daughter? Dawn's friend.
That's right, you know her?
No, but I've heard Dawn talk about her, but I thought that she had already gone back.
Oh, that's right, she did. She's sitting right on top of that powder keg right now. For the moment, there's still some balance. This new revolutionary government wants to look clean, but with a scene back there. Anyhow, I'm hoping that the government will be determined to keep its image clean in the world.
If everything you say is true, and that's really the way it is over there, it's very dangerous for you.
Hey, come on. It's dangerous crossing Fannin Street in downtown Houston. Nope, it's nothing I can't handle. I just want to talk to the Prime Minister. I want to see him and explain things to him, and I really think that I can get them to ship Haseen back here. There's so many questions I want answered. And every single one of them brings Haseen closer to the plot that killed Zadie. But that's not all.
That's enough. It's more than enough.
I know. I just can't get over that image of that little... of Haseen walking right past us and going right onto the plane. No, I want him bad, real bad. But Yasmin is more important.
More important.
That's right. The last thing I promised Zadie was that I'd keep her safe. And the first thing I did when he died was let her go right back into that hornet's nest. I should never have let her go.
But didn't she take her father back home?
That's right, she took him and she wanted to, but that doesn't mean I should have let her. Look, Yasmin's tribe is one of the largest and strongest in the country. But they just can't stand up against modern arms. Now, if Haseen and his gang decide that a royal princess alive and in Tankir will create an automatic opposition, they just might decide to alter the situation.
But they wouldn't kill a girl.
Oh, yes, they would. I've got to get her out. I've got to get her out now.
You mean you're not staying back there?
Hmm? No, of course not. Is that what you thought?
Well, yes. I mean, what am I supposed to think?
Well, why don't you begin by thinking about how crazy I am about you? And no matter how far I get from Texas, I'm always going to be able to find my way back home.
Home? You mean here, Texas?
Hey, come on. Does that surprise you? Come here. Does it?
I don't know.
You better start thinking again. Because you have an awful lot of ideas about me that just don't fit the facts.
It's hard for me to feel so self-assured that I'm some kind of magnet that could lure you away from anywhere or hold you fast.
Well, you better develop some self-assurance because that's exactly what you can do. Honey, I've got to do this. I've got to go now. But it's not going to take me any longer than it has to. Because I want to be right back here with you, and that's the way it's going to be. Just as soon as I make it possible, you understand?
You be careful.
Hey, I'm always careful. Still around, aren't I? Yeah, I'll be careful. Got so much to be careful about. as much as any man.
Could maybe do it from a distance?
No, strictly hands-on. I've got to be there to make sure things move. It's...
And you do make things move, don't you?
Hey, hey. You know what? Looks like that norther's blown through, hasn't it?
Yes. It is a little warmer.
I'll be back, sweetheart. And I'm gonna see you before it gets cold again.
Now I know why you weren't answering the phone. You've been out here. I wanted to talk to you.
There's nothing for us to talk about.
Well, maybe that's true for me, too. If you mean that stuff that happened today. Well, with Alex. I'm out of a job, and that's that. But actually, I wanted to talk to you about something else. You see, getting fired has its compensations.
Name one.
Well, my nights are free now. The problem is I'm not too sure how I'm going to spend this one. I mean, I was was calling you to see if you were interested. Of course, if you're not, maybe I'll just go find somebody else. Somebody who's not burdened by such high principles. Well, what do you say?
Frankly, I don't care how you spend your evening. I'm not thinking about anything right now except myself. Which is why I came out here in the first place.
Huh?
Sitting up in my apartment, thinking, all the walls started closing in on me.
What were you thinking about?
About what I should do now?
What are you talking about? You're not the one who got fired. You didn't get kicked right off the top of the World Club.
So?
So you've still got it made. I mean, nothing's changed for you.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. You've still got your little grip on Alex Wheeler's confidence, and I mean, that's like money in the bank. So what have you got to worry about?
About the fact that maybe Alex should have fired me, too.
Fired you? For what? Looking out for his interests?
No, Clipper. For looking out for yours. I was the one who pressed Alex to hire you at first.
Well, what is this, a guilt trip you're putting on yourself?
Yeah, that's right. I'm feeling guilty for begging Alex to hire you after they smashed you and your knees and your entire football career to pieces. I was the one who admired you. I was the one who loved you and who kept after him, even though he wasn't at all hot on the idea at first.
Well, he's gotten his money's worth, and then some. Hell, Terry, I used that equipment to get the information he wanted. He never complained. He never asked me how the hell I got some pieces of information, or chunks of dirt as far as that goes. He never even made a whisper until he found out that Justin Marshall was bearing down and wanted to spread Alex and me and the whole operation all over the 6 o'clock news.
Oh, why don't you just stop it, Clipper? You know Alex never meant for you to do what you did to get information. Why don't you just admit it? This time you went too far.
Oh, yeah? Too far? And just how far is too far, baby? Too far is getting caught. That's all too far means.
Dr. Melton, 392. Dr. Melton, 392.
Excuse me, miss. Can you help me? Oh, are you here to be admitted? You're on the wrong floor, hon. Admitting is on the first floor.
Admitted? Who, me? I've never been in a hospital in my life. I'm as healthy as a range pony, and I reckon to stay that way.
Sorry. When I saw the suitcase, I just assumed that you
Well,
were...
you assumed wrong. These things are for Dr. Kevin Cook, so if you just point me to his office.
Let me get the door for you. I'm pretty sure he's gone down to supper anyway. Dr. Cook? I was sure he'd gone.
384. Dr. Lopez, 384.
Well, there you are.
Thanks a lot. I guess I put it here, right? Does he have any paper around here? Guess not.
I'd be glad to give him a message for you, shall I?
Yeah, well, tell him I'll be glad to pack the rest of his things if he'd just call and give me an address. I mean, I'll know where he's going to. He'll know what I mean.
I'm sure he will. And I'll be sure to pass that message along.
friend I've got left in the world. Only friend I've got left. Striker! 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 Oh, Striker! Please answer me! Striker, please don't be dead. Oh, don't be dead. Please, Striker, it's me, Vicky. Yes, it's me. Oh, Striker, what happened?
Vicky,
Oh,
I tried to call you.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't hear you, Striker.
Call Kevin.
Oh.
Call.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be hard, but I'll be there.
Well,
Right,
I
bye.
thought it was my own mom. His maid brought a suitcase to Dr. Cook's office while he was at dinner. I had to unlock the door for her. She said to tell him she'd bring the rest of his things as soon as he gave her an address.
Moving out? I don't believe it. They're fighting again. Now, what on earth do they have to fight about? They're rich, they're famous, they're beautiful people. What more could they possibly want?
Another man. Another woman.
Come here.
Doing? What's the matter with you? What are you doing?
I'm trying to protect you from some embarrassment.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the rumors, the gossip that's going on around here about you and Kevin.
Oh, honestly, Bart.
Yes, honestly, for a change. You know, if you two keep it up, it's not going to take long for the hospital administrator to step in and do something about it.
Do something. About what?
Oh, come on, Courtney. People are talking about the two of you all over the place.
Well, they can't be talking about much then because there's nothing going on.
You mean you and Kevin aren't seeing each other?
Oh, sure, I've seen him in training sessions and in training sessions only. Period. Bart, we haven't so much as had lunch together in the cafeteria.
You mean it? Then I don't understand. If the two of you have stopped seeing each other, how come Kevin's left my cousin Rena?
Left Rena? Oh, that can't be true. No, that's just another rumor.
What makes you so sure?
Well, because if Kevin had left Rena, I'm sure he would have...
told you about it. Well, maybe he hasn't had time yet. Those two nurses you just passed in the hall? One of them was saying she'd let Kevin's maid into his room while he was out to dinner. She left a suitcase with his clothes in it.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about it, so, if that's all you wanted to see me about, I've got some patients I gotta check up on, and, I gotta run. I'll see you later. Oh, thanks, Bart.
Yeah. You're welcome.
What an attitude. Too far is just getting caught.
That's right.
No, it's wrong. Getting caught is not the question. Caught or not, there are still limits.
No, baby. Let me tell you about limits. Limits are what the ones who have already got it made use to keep the rest of us in place and out of the game.
Yeah, well, maybe that's how it looks to you.
You don't think it looked the same way to Wheeler at one time? Oh, come on, Terry. There weren't any limits when Alex started out. There were no limits when he was crawling and climbing and slicing and battering his way to the top of the world. Forget it. I mean, honey, this isn't the first time I've been caught in a foul.
No, it sure isn't, is it?
If you're going to play any game, Terry, then you have to play rough. And if they tag you, well, so what? You take the penalty. That's the rules of the game. Not much of a penalty when you think of it, though. In fact, it's almost a relief to be able to hang that tux away for good. It started feeling like my old Oiler uniform used to. Nothing but work clothes. That's all it was. There's something else I can do with that, too. All that glad-handing and those grinning flunkies crawling around me like bugs. I can handle it.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
There's only one thing about all this I can't handle, Terry. And that's losing you.
What is this? Your next ploy? Your pitch? To get me to talk to Alex for you?
No, it is definitely not. Don't you think I know you better than that? I remember how you wouldn't talk to Alex about that tank-here oil deal for me. I know it's because you didn't believe in it.
Well, I'm glad you realize that.
Yeah, I know. Nothing personal. Well, now it is personal, though, isn't it? Now it's me you don't believe in anymore. Yeah, well, if that's how it is, I wouldn't want you to talk to him for me anyhow. Goodbye, sweetheart.
Wait, Clipper! Hey, come here. Come on. Sit down. Clipper, I do understand how you feel. But do you understand how I feel?
No. Except that I must seem pretty dumb to you.
Oh, no, Clipper. I'm just worried, that's all.
Huh?
That's right, I'm worried about you. About what's going to happen to your life. Oh, if you only knew how much I want to believe that you've really learned something from all this.
Well, then believe it. Because it's true.
How can I believe it after all those things you just said?
Well, then forget what I just said. I didn't mean half of it anyhow. I was just letting my mouth run off. I wish all this had never happened.
Oh, so do I.
But I learned plenty. I learned plenty, Terry. I see where I was wrong. Hell, maybe I've been wrong all my life. But I learned something else today, too, Terry. I learned that I can't stand losing you. I don't think I can face living the rest of my life without you. Terry, will you marry me?
That's right, Mrs. Cook. So far, all I've been doing is drilling a dry hole. I haven't found a thing. Your husband came to his office at Gulf Coast.
Is that where you are now, at the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
And my husband?
Yes, he's still here, too. He had supper alone in the cafeteria. But except for that, he's been in his office, alone.
You mean that nobody has come to visit him?
No, well, not unless you count a maid with a suitcase who came while he was out to supper.
No, I know all about that.
Oh. Well, that's been it. He hasn't seen seen anyone else. And, it looks to me like he's planning on spending the night in his office, too.
No chance of it, Waylon. Believe me, I know.
No offense, Mrs. Cook, but, from what I've seen here, it looks like, your imagination might just be a little overactive or something.
It seems to me that I remember you saying that to me the first time I asked you to investigate my dear mother's little affair. You remember?
Yeah, well, I've got to hand it to you. You were right that time. But this job, there's just nothing happening. It's so boring, I'm almost falling asleep.
Listen, Waylon, you're getting paid a bucket full of change for this job, so you just keep following him. You hear? I know him. You just hang in there. Sooner or later, it's going to start getting interested, and that's when you call me. I'll be waiting.
Right. Sure. Right. I'll be damned. Mrs. Cook, aren't you ever wrong?
It's true. Kevin, what happened? Do you want to talk to me about it?
Rena almost killed Stryker. She told him about Vicky and Alex.
Her own father?
Her own father. Own is right. Well, Rena's got what she's always wanted. She's got Stryker back, what's left of him. So I don't suppose she needs me anymore.
It's true, then. It's really happened. You really left her. Kevin. Wait a minute. Why didn't you tell me about it this afternoon at the training session?
Courtney, I've been thinking.
Now, wait. If you've left Rena, there's nothing left to stand between us. Kevin, I love you so.
And I love you too, Courtney, but... Well, as I say, I've been thinking that...
About what?
Well, is Rena the only thing that keeps us apart, or is there something else?
What else could there possibly be?
Time. The years between us. The time that's passed for me and lies ahead for you.
Stop thinking. Just feel how right we are together.
Courtney.
I love you.
I love you.
Then nothing else matters. We're just where we're supposed to be. Now, as for where we're going to be later, where were you planning on taking that suitcase for the night?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of bunking in the residence dorm.
Oh?
But then again, that was when I was thinking.
And now?
Yeah.
Dr. Mahoney, 9-6. Dr. Mahoney, 9-6.
Probably Rena with more insults she forgot to hurl. Guess I better get it. No, I really don't want to answer that. Suppose I better. Dr. Cook.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin, come right away, please.
Vicky.
Hurry.
Vicky, please, calm down. What is it? What's wrong?
Oh, Kevin, he won't answer me. Please hurry.
Vicky, please, will you calm down? What's happened? What's the matter?
Oh, Kevin, he's just lying on the floor. I'm sorry.
Stryker?
I'm sorry.
Look, Vicky, Stryker's had another attack. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, and he's just lying on the floor. I don't know what to do.
Look, just stay calm, Vicky, please. Just stay calm and hold on for 1 minute. Now, just hold on. Stryker's had a serious attack. Go down to emergency. Have them prepare an ambulance for a serious MI. I want IV the works. Have it standing by immediately.
Kevin! Do you want me to come? Kevin!
Hold on just a moment, please. Now, hang on. Please, calm down. No, look, I'll take care of everything. Just see to it's all arranged, will you? Vicky's drunk. She's hysterical. Now, Vicky, listen to me, please. Vicky, listen to me. I want you to take a blanket and cover Stryker. You understand? Vicky, tell me what I just told you.
You have to get a blanket and cover Stryker.
That's right. Now, Vicky, loosen his tie and his belt and sit tight.
Oh, Kevin, please, hurry.
Now, Vicky, I am on my way right now with an ambulance. Do you understand?
Oh, please, hurry, Kevin. I think he's dying. Oh, Kevin, please hurry.
I'll be there with an ambulance as soon as I can.
Please, hurry. I think he's dying.
Vicky, stop it. Now tell me, how is Stryker's breathing?
Oh, it's been so labored. Please,
No,
hurry,
Vicky, I'll be there as fast as I can. Now, if Stryker stops breathing, if his heart stops before I get there, remember your CPR training.
Oh, no, Kevin, I don't think I can.
You have got to. Now, I've got an ambulance waiting. I'm on my way right now. Stay with him.
Hurry, Kevin, please don't let him die. Stryker, don't die. Please, don't let me destroy you. Not like this. Oh, Stryker, don't leave me. You can't. You can't. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't hear you. I'm sorry I was drinking. I'm sorry for everything I've done to you. Only please don't die. Please, dear Lord, don't let him die. Oh, don't die.
What do you want me to do? Get down on my knees and say it again? Do they still do it that way?
No.
Look, I never did this before. I've never asked a woman to marry me. A few have asked me, but
Are you sure, Clipper? I mean, after all those girls, why me?
Hey, you know your biggest fault? Underrating yourself. You've been Alex Wheeler's shadow for so long that you don't think of yourself as a real person.
Don't go attacking Alex, huh? Not now.
I'm not. And believe me, I'm just trying to make you see yourself as you are, what you've always been. Terry, look at me. You were the only woman who ever cared for me. Not Clipper Curtis, the Oiler halfback. Not Mr. Curtis, owner of the top of the World Club. Just me. I love you.
Clipper, I'm
Just
scared.
tell me you don't love me, and I'll turn around and walk out of your life. Forever. That's all you have to do, Terry. I mean, say it. If that's what you want to say, say it.
Clipper, you know I love you. I've always loved you.
Well, then say you'll marry me.
Clipper, I can't make that decision
You
right
can't.
now.
What is this? You love me, but you can't marry me? Oh, I get it. Yeah. Since Alex fired me, you're having second thoughts, huh? Okay, I'm a lousy risk.
Clipper, you're putting words in my mouth. You know I've never cared about money.
You never did, when I had it.
And I still don't. Look, I always said we'd be better off without it, that we'd get along just fine. If we wanted to.
And now I want to and you don't. It figures. Well, whatever I had, I've lost it, haven't I?
No, I'm confused. Can't you see?
Don't try to explain.
Clipper?
It's all right. Don't bother, Terry. You know, somehow I always thought you'd stick with me. What a dumb idea. So long, sweetheart.
Clipper, don't go.
Jenny, you there?
Over here, Max.
You alone, or is Ryan Connor still around? Heard his chopper a little while ago. I had to play for the horses to get him quieted back down.
Ryan's gone already. Maybe you could play for me and quiet me down.
Love to. You gone so soon, huh? Those folks don't stay in one place too long, do they?
No, he had to get back.
What's his big hurry?
He's leaving Houston. He's going to Tangier.
Isn't that where Mike had his big oil refinery? How come he's going there? I mean, didn't they just have a big revolution there? Aren't those new guys kind of down on Americans?
Yes, they are, and that's exactly what worries me. Ryan's very close to the Sheik and his daughter. Before the Sheik was murdered, he promised that he'd take care of her.
She in trouble?
Well, she may be. That's why he has to go over there. He's not with the State Department anymore or anything. It's personal.
Yeah, I can understand. Sure is convenient.
Exactly what is that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. You know, I was just thinking. Ryan came to Houston and, well, he really found it pretty tame. Cowboys stick to punching cows. And the Indians are all gone, working on the oil fields. So he had to go off to Tangier, where folks are still knocking each other off. Seems like some people gotta be where bullets are whistling around them to let them know they're still alive.
Max, I told you it's not the adventure. I told you why he went.
Yeah, an old tie, an old debt, like the one Mike had to Tangier.
That debt kept the Marshall family wealthy for a very long time and kept this ranch running.
Yeah, did it that. But then in the end, it killed Mike, didn't it, Jenny?
It was the risks in the oil business that killed Mike, not Tangier.
Oil in the city.
You know, you can't just roll back the years like a blanket, Max. It's been a long time since the only way to get around was on horseback and the only place to live was on the land.
Yeah, ain't that a crying shame? You know, sometimes I sit on this porch at night, look over at Houston. The sky over there just glows and pulses like the flames of hell.
Or the candles of heaven.
No, not those fires. No, they're only candles to people who fly into them like moths. Like Justin, Ricky, maybe even Ryan. They fly into them just like they're going to their lover's arms. When they get there, they find they're in hell.
Max, will you stop it? I told you it's not for the excitement and adventure. Ryan has a debt to fulfill over in Tangier, and if the princess is safe, then he's coming back. And he's going to stay.
Willie, you really think you can give up all that excitement? Huh? Here today, Algeria tomorrow, maybe Rio the day after? Yeah, some folks would say that'd be a lot to pass up.
I'm sure he can. Doesn't mean anything to him anyway.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Darling, you can count on me. You know that.
I know I used to be able to count on you before Alex fired me.
Clipper, what you did was wrong, but it isn't fatal. You thought you were doing what Alex wanted. But you don't have a bad heart. I know that. I love you.
Sure. I love you too, baby. But those are just words. And words don't always mean what they say, do they? Like what you really mean is, I love you, but not right now. Come back when you're in the chips.
No, I always mean what I say, and what I'm saying is that I love you. And I do want to marry you.
Terry, if you're just saying that because of a sense of duty, forget it. You don't owe me a thing. All debts are canceled as of now.
Clipper, don't twist my words. Love is not a debt that we owe. It's sharing.
Yeah, well, I don't have too much to throw in the kitty. Maybe you'd be better off without me. Look, if you want me to keep on walking, I will. Just say the word.
The only thing I want you to do is to walk into my arms. You know I want to be your wife.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I need to hear. More than anything else in the world.
Hurry, he's over there.
Get a pressure reading. Right. Come on, quickly, please.
Is he alive? Kevin, tell
90
me
by
he's alive.
location, Doc. His pulse rate is 40. He's alive, Vicky.
Oh, thank God, thank God.
Oxygen.
Oh, if he had died, it would have been my fault. I'd never forgive myself.
All right, get him on the stretcher into the ambulance.
Heaven, is he
Alert
going to be
Gulf
all
Coast for
right?
the life support system when we get in.
Yes, don't we need a history and a name?
He's my patient. Now move quickly, please. Right, Doc. Come on.
Oh, Kevin, he's going to be all right. When you get to the hospital, you'll be able to do something.
Vicky, listen to me. This might be the moment we've all expected. It's going to happen sooner or later. Come on now, Vicky, take it easy. We haven't given up. We're going to fight for him. Do you understand?
Oh.
We're going to fight for him.
Kevin, he can't die.
Now, Vicky,
He
if you're
can't
coming to the
die.
hospital with us, get a coat quickly, all right?
Oh,
Right away. Come on, come on. All right, move it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
So, Kevin did leave the hospital. I want to hear all about it.
Well, Mrs. Cook, right after I talked to you, a woman came into his office.
And you told me I had an overactive imagination.
Well, I guess I owe you an apology then, because it wasn't long before the two of them came out together, all smiles.
Oh, with the suitcase.
Now, how could you ever guess? Yeah, it certainly looked like your husband was on his way to nest for the night.
Well, don't keep me in suspense. Who is she and where did they go?
They didn't. He went off with an ambulance. Just as he and the lady were about to leave his office, he got some call, and then he hightailed it on down to the emergency room.
Kevin doesn't take ambulance calls. Maybe he saw you following him and he was trying to lose you, huh?
Not a chance. I followed him down to emergency and saw him get into that ambulance myself.
That's strange. And of course, everything Kevin has been doing the last few months is strange. Well, you just wait at the hospital. He'll be back. Can't imagine Kevin taking an ambulance call. Not unless it was an awful special patient. Now,
Of course he's not home. He would want to stay in Vicky's house now that he knows the truth about her. He's probably packed up his things and left her like she deserves. Probably on his way over here right now. Why wouldn't Stryker call me if he was on his way back here?
why didn't Vicky answer?
Damn, where are they? Now, who could Kevin possibly... Oh, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop thinking like that. I mean, just because no one's home, it doesn't... It just can't.
Vicky, will you wait here, please? There's a lot to be done for Stryker, and it has to be done quickly. Look, I'll tell you what. As soon as we get him on life support and his condition stabilizes a little, I'll come back and tell you how he's doing, okay? Oh, Vicky, will you call Rena? Tell her to get here as fast as she can. I know she'd want to be here if...
It's that bad.
He's still alive, but it's as bad as it can be, short of... Will you call her?
I'll call. How can I tell her that her father...
I know. It's going to be difficult for her, but she's got to know.
Pardon me, but could you change this for me, please? I have to make a phone call. But please, it's urgent.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Just let me see. Here, take that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Hello?
Rena?
Vicky, what is it?
I'm worried half to death. I tried calling Stryker and he didn't answer. What is it? What's wrong?
It's something terrible.
It's Daddy, isn't it?
It's Stryker. It's his heart.
Oh, no. I was so afraid. I could feel it. How bad is it?
It's very bad, Rena.
He's not gonna die, is he?
I don't know, but Kevin's here and he's doing everything he can.
He said to tell you to get over here to Gulf Coast Hospital. And hurry.
Daddy. Daddy, please. Oh, Daddy. You can't die. You just can't leave me. Oh, you can't.
Hey, you two. There's no necking after 9 p.m. That's one of the pool rules.
Oh, yeah? Which one? I don't see it.
That's because it's too dark to see, but it's number 13.
Doesn't matter if it is. I never play by the rules anyway. I mean, I never used to. But since I've been hanging around your big sister here, I'm changing my ways. Aren't I, Terry?
You'd better.
Going back into football?
Nah, going into a much rougher game, where the fights take place in the bedroom and the kitchen, and the blood you spill may be your own.
Do you always talk like that?
He's just kidding, Rick.
Well, tell him. You come on.
Clippers asked me to marry him.
We thought we'd make it legal. Well, come on, honey. I mean, why beat around the bush? This isn't the 50s. Your little brother here's all grown up. I'll bet you got a string of broads down there in Marshall County, haven't you?
I heard you tell me he's asked you, but I haven't heard your answer.
What is this? Do they still arrange marriages down in Marshall County, or what? The whole family has to approve of the groom? I mean, I knew you came from the sticks, but isn't that a little far out?
Yes, Ricky. This is something I've wanted for a long time.
I just don't want to see you make a mistake and end up hating yourself and the guy you're married to. Like some people I know.
No sweat, little brother. I know what a treasure I got here, and I'm planning on great things for the two of us.
I'm going to hold you to that, Clipper.
Don't worry, Ricky. Clipper will take real good care of me.
I'm real happy for you, Terry. Clipper, I want to wish you and Terry all the best of luck.
Thanks, buddy.
You know, I could get real used to this.
Isn't that what marriage is all about? Don't worry, baby. I'll be on top again.
I'm not worried about that. All I want is for us to be together. Shall we set a date?
Hey, let's not get all in a rush. Let things work themselves out a little first. I'd feel kind of uneasy setting a wedding date before I get my next paycheck.
Okay. I can wait for that.
You know, when Alex fired me, I felt like a trap door had been opened and there was nothing but 50 stories of open space beneath me.
Yeah, that must have been frightening.
The only time that was worse was when I was laying on the 40-yard line looking up at the blue sky and using everything I had not to scream. I never thought there was that much pain in the whole world. When I got out of that hospital, I knew behind all those drugs there was one pair of smashed knees. Hell, I thought I'd go through life with legs so stiff people would think I was walking on stilts.
Well, I'm glad the doctors could patch you up again.
Yeah. Miracles of modern medicine, huh? But you know who really saved my life?
Surgeons.
No. You did. No, it's true. I swear it, honey. I mean, you came to the hospital every day with books and cards and gossip. I don't see how you had time to do it with all the other stuff you had to do.
Well, it was easy, Clipper. I loved you.
And then when you talked Alex into giving me that job at the top of the World Club, it gave me a reason to live. I was somebody again.
Clipper, you were always somebody, huh? You just lost yourself for a little while, that's all.
And the girl who found me is right here in my arms. Somehow you always make things turn out right.
And they'll come out right this time, too. You'll see. When we marry, everything will work out.
You bet, baby. Boy, I'd like to be a fly on the wall when you tell Alex.
Tell him what?
That you still believe in me. That you're going to marry me even if he did spring the trap door on me.
Well, Alex will be very pleased for us, in spite of everything.
Oh, yeah. He'll turn cartwheels. I mean, he thinks the world of you and thinks I am
Hey,
the...
hush, huh? You'll see. I'll convince him that it's right. Alex cares about me and he wants me to be happy.
Yeah. I guess you're right, baby.
Oh, that's real pretty, Max. I can't think of anything nicer than being out here on the porch listening to you play.
Me either, Meg.
Well, thank you, ladies. I remember you said that, Jenny.
I didn't mean...
I know what you meant. And I heard what you said. Well, if y'all excuse me, I got a day and a half lined up tomorrow.
Oh, I was just going to say the same thing.
Kate, there's no reason to keep me in line. I haven't stayed up late in a long time.
Oh.
Good night.
See you in the morning.
All right. Good night, Jenny.
Good night, Max.
Well, I see Max isn't going to let you forget
Forget what?
that he's here and Ryan isn't. I reckon I'll be hearing him serenading you out here on the porch every night while Ryan's gone.
Oh, Kate, it's not like that at all.
Oh, isn't it? Huh. I guess I can see what's going on.
Max and I are just friends, that's all. I like Max very much. But Ryan...
Oh, I know, honey. You don't even have to say it. They're just two different kinds of men, that's all. Now, Max is solid as the walls of the Alamo, slow to change, and always there when you need him.
And Ryan?
Oh, honey, I can't help but love that boy, too. He's Ulysses, the wanderer. He's seen the cities and the ways of men.
One's always here and one's always gone.
Oh, honey. I don't know whether to envy or feel sorry for you. You know, most women have to settle for a man who'll just be decent to them. They pick between one dullard and another. But you, well, you've got a lot harder choice. You got to decide which one is the best of two fine young men. Oh, Jenny, love, now don't look so sad. You don't have to make that decision tonight. Come on now, get on up to bed.
Good night, Kate. And thank you.
Where's Stryker? What have they done to him? want to see him, and I want to see him now.
Well, I'm afraid this is one situation you can't dominate, Rena. Your father's in intensive care.
At least he's not in your care anymore. Where's Kevin? Why can I never find him when I need him?
He's with Stryker. He'll be out in a few minutes.
He better be. All right. What happened? What did you do to him, Vicky?
That's not the question, Rena. The question is, what did you do to him?
Daddy was fine when he left my house. What happened to him after that?
What did you show him before he came home?
Nothing he couldn't see with his own 2 eyes any day of the week if he wanted to.
You showed him those pictures. Those rotten pictures of Alex and me. You couldn't resist it.
So what?
Oh, that's always been your attitude, hasn't it? Whatever Rena wanted, damn the consequences. No matter what it cost or who it hurt, just full speed ahead.
Well, whenever it comes to getting your own way, you're no slouch yourself, Mother. You were willing to pay a pretty hefty price to keep those pictures undercover, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Maybe too great a price.
Well, I'm surprised to hear you say it. So your precious reputation does mean more to you than anything living or breathing, doesn't it?
My reputation. Is that why you think I gave in to your demands? Oh, no. I meant every word I said at the club that day. I went to see your father to tell him all about Alex.
Oh, you did? Well, then what stopped you?
Kevin.
Ha ha! My dear husband, you two have gotten quite chummy, haven't you? So it was Kevin that talked you into it.
Yes, but not the way you think. He told me that Stryker was slipping, and badly, and that a sudden shock could kill him.
That's a lie! Daddy told me himself he was all right.
Because that's what you wanted to hear, and the poor dear man couldn't deny you anything, even if it might cost him his own life.
I don't believe you. That's something that you and Kevin made up, isn't it?
Oh, will you please quiet down? Oh, you're the one that's lying, Rena. And to yourself. You refused to believe Kevin when he told you how ill Stryker was. You knew what it would do to him when you showed him those pictures, but you just didn't care. You really hate me, don't you? You hate me more than you love Stryker. You just didn't care. And now you may have just killed your father.
721, Dr. Oates, 721.
Courtney. It's very late. You're going to be exhausted tomorrow. You should have gone home.
I wanted to be here to help, Kevin. If you needed me.
Thank you, Courtney. It's nice to have you here.
Well, that makes waiting worthwhile, then. How is Stryker?
Alive? Barely. Well, let's see what the terrible things people do to each other have made of the human heart.
These are Stryker's x-rays?
Yes. Yes, I just got them. I wanted to look at them in peace and quiet before I talked to Vicky.
Well, how bad is it, Kevin?
Look, you tell me.
You made a promise to Stryker, didn't you?
I made a lot of promises to Stryker.
Well, there's one you have to keep now. You said you'd be with Rena when she lost him. I think you better make up with her.
There's no way Stryker's heart will ever function properly again.
No. No, the damage is too great. There's no hope at all.
I'll have to go and see her. Tell her.
How dare you accuse me of almost killing Stryker? You're the one who's responsible.
You'd really like to believe that, wouldn't you? You've always been the master at evading responsibility.
20 years of sneaking around with Alex Wheeler?
You quiet down.
I don't give a damn who hears me. I showed Stryker those pictures, but you're the one who's in them. You're the one who broke his promises and his hearts, and you're still after Alex Wheeler.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that trip you made to Wheeler's office. You had to tip him off, didn't you? You just couldn't stand his dirty dealings to be plastered all over the TV news, could you?
Yes, but that's all there was to it.
Is it? Iris heard you. You said you loved him, didn't you? Didn't you? You couldn't even keep it to yourself with Stryker lying in your bed.
That's enough, Rena.
No, it's not. It's not nearly enough. You're going to hear every word I have to say. Wheeler didn't say he loved you, did he? Because he'd already thrown you over for Iris, didn't he?
Stop it, Rena.
Why? Because I'm getting too close to the truth? You still think you got a chance with Wheeler, don't you? Did you intend for Iris to overhear that conversation? Did you think it was going to get rid of her?
No.
You think you still have a chance of getting Alex back, and then it would be better for you if Daddy was dead, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Maybe you've gone already. Maybe you've gone on to something else. Is that it?
Mad, Rena.
Am I? You're the one who's mad. You're glad Daddy is dying.
Stop it, Rena.
It wasn't those pictures. If it was the pictures, he would have had the attack in my house, not yours.